It's a very hot day here in summer, and I really didn't want to make this video, but I think it is important that I do. Recently, Czech Games has announced that they were going to release another edition of Codenames, this time wrapped around the universe of Harry Potter. As usual, when it's anything to do with Harry Potter, it has raised an awful lot of very polarized opinions and polarized positions regarding both the games, Czech Games, and its creator. And although I don't want So Play We All to be a channel in which I am discussing constantly social issues within the gaming community, I think it is important that I raise my voice in a manner that hopefully will be listenable by as many people as possible. So whether you are pro or against this game, please stick around, because this is not a video to judge you, this is not a video to insult you, this is not a video to do any of those things. If you are a fan of Harry Potter, I think you're very lucky. You're very lucky that you have a franchise that probably has been with you for a massive chunk of your life and means so much to you because it accompanied you throughout your formative years. I wish I had something like that when I was growing up. I didn't. I had many different franchises that contributed to me a lot. I had Star Trek, I had Star Wars, I had Lord of the Rings, I had the Dragonlance, I had an awful lot of things, but I didn't have one centralized franchise that was able to crystallize my upbringing in a way that would make me feel so passionate about it for the rest of my life. You are very lucky, and I totally and utterly understand you liking Harry Potter. Even though it's not my cup of tea, I don't dislike it, but it's not something that I am passionate about. But you are really, really lucky to be able to enjoy that. And I think you should be able to enjoy that, no doubt. If you are against Harry Potter because of J.K. Rowling, I am with you. Not because I am against Harry Potter, but because I am against J.K. Rowling, and not against herself completely, but against her attitudes. And that is what I feel has to be addressed. An awful lot of people have called to the boycott of Czech Games. I'm halfway there because firstly, I respect the right to boycott. I think is a very powerful tool, and people should be entitled both to boycott the companies that they feel are hurting other people or themselves, or boycott products. So I cannot ask you not to do it, ever. But I'm going to ask if maybe boycotting the game and not the company would be a better choice. That is personally what I would do, for many reasons. Firstly, because that company feeds other people who may not have anything to do with this game, and maybe they are even fighting to get this game out, and we don't want to hurt them. But also, to be honest, mostly because Codenames? Again? Czech Games? Seriously? Don't you have something better than just rewrap Codenames, milk the cow with a franchise that can be so toxic for so many people? That's cheap. That is really cheap. That is like Hasbro releasing another version of Monopoly. It's cheap. And quite frankly, I expect better from a company of the size and the stature of Czech Games. For goodness sake, you have released some of the best games ever, including Codenames. Another one? That is pathetic. That alone would be enough for me to say, I don't want anything to do with it, and I don't care if it is with Harry Potter, with Star Trek, with Lord of the Rings, with anything. Another Codenames? That's sad. That is tremendously sad. That is such an obvious attempt at grabbing money from people who are so passionate that they don't care if their franchise is overexploited. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But on top of that, and this is the other reason, even if J.K. Rowling weren't getting a single penny out of this game, which is very unlikely, I don't know how much she would be getting, but I bet some. Even if she wasn't getting any of it, the problem is that by giving visibility to this franchise, by renewing the interest, you are renewing the interest in her. We cannot possibly at this stage separate the author from the works. We just can't. Absolutely no one else is doing Harry Potter, is J.K. Rowling. Right now, we can't separate cosmic horror from Lovecraft because so many people are doing it. But we cannot separate the Call of Cthulhu from Lovecraft because it belongs to him. The difference is not just that J.K. Rowling is getting money out of it. Even if she weren't, she is already investing a lot of money in making people's lives miserable. She is managing to influence tiers of government that do deny trans people access to basic needs. If you're watching this video and you're thinking, yeah, that's what I want, I'm going to assume two things. One is that you have already lost so much of your humanity that this video is not going to make a dent, and you're probably going to leave a nasty comment in this video. Please go ahead. Or that you haven't been in touch with enough trans and non-binary folk that you don't understand exactly what they are going through. I am not going to talk for the trans community because I don't belong to that community. I am not a trans person. But I'm going to talk on their behalf when I say that they are human beings who are suffering immensely, because by being who they are, they're challenging some standards that people are finding very, very hard to make flexible. And you have not been exposed enough to that. So if you're one of those people, I'm going to ask you a favor. Please, I'm begging you, talk to a trans person. Sit down with them. Have a chat. Ask them to tell them about their life, how they feel. What is it like to go day by day through their lives with so much hatred thrown to them? I'm going to ask you to please just try to understand that they are just human beings. And hopefully you will realize that their existence is not a threat to anyone. That it is just not true, that you're not going to stop being a man or being a woman just because somebody else, because a trans person tells you that they're a man and they're a woman, even if they don't look the way that you've been told that a man or a woman should look. J.K. Rowling wants to stop people from being alive, from being there. And you know what's most problematic about it is that her and people like her will not stop there. When they have finished their agenda, because they do have an agenda, that agenda will be expanded. And that agenda may be expanded to people who doesn't look like they want people to look like. Maybe we'll go against goths. Maybe we'll go against women who cut their hair short. Maybe it will go against men who don't play football or simply don't want to work and rather stay home with their kids. It will go against anyone because hatred doesn't stop. It doesn't stop unless we stop it. I'm not asking you to hunky-dorily accept everyone all of a sudden and become, a heartfelt defender of trans people. I'm just asking you to please stop being against them. If you really think that a trans person is going to go into a bathroom, check how many have done it. If you really think that a sign that says men or women is going to stop somebody who wants to abuse a child, please take a look at how abusers do abuse children, and you will see that they don't need to go into public spaces to do that. That's not where they do it. That's not how they do it. Try to understand that linking a way of being, an existence, to a way of behaving is just wrong. And by supporting this game, by supporting this franchise, by giving it money, by giving it visibility, you are giving money and visibility to somebody who is proactively hurting a lot of people's lives. So please do keep enjoying Harry Potter, but maybe secondhand. Maybe instead of going to the cinema, I'm going to say it out loud, download the movie. And quite frankly, even if you absolutely adore the franchise and really means the world to you, take a look at something else. Take a look at different creations from different creators, because even if Harry Potter is wonderful, you may be missing out on something else that is also wonderful. So please, stop hurting the trans community. Talk to them. Stop supporting the Harry Potter IP. Not because it's bad, but because what the owner is doing with it is bad.